欢迎收看全球聊天室，我是 Jason 刘晨曦。我们一说到 Elon Musk， 大家呢总会想到3个关键字，一个呢是 Twitter， 一个是 Tesla， 还有呢 SpaceX。那今天我们要看到的是 Tesla， 因为他们旗下的一个代表作。等一下，让我来呼叫一下我的爱车。没错，就是这个号称是全球速度最快的 Tesla Roadster Generation 1，今年是停产10周年了。10年之后 ，Tesla Roadster 要推出第2代，继续号称这是全球速度最快的车子。然后我们也顺便看一下10年前的 Elon Musk 长什么样子呢？好，当时的他啊，跟现在的样子，好像真的是差蛮远的哦。所以看得出来啊，现在虽然是一个大叔，比较胖一点点，只是呢，当时的宅味好像也真的没有什么变哦，10年来都是一样的。那么呢，说到这一辆车 Tesla Roadster 1呢，在2008年，电动车从0到60，它只要3.7秒，这样一个数字在2008年是不是超级厉害的呢？不过呢，厉害呢是一回事，后来这款车它出现一个问题，那就是几乎没有在管车主的维修保养的，甚至后来他还直接把车主给放生了，让车主们感到呢非常気持ち悪い，感觉超差的。但正因为如此呢，反倒让车主们串联起来互助会，他们成为全世界最特别的一群车友。我们现在就一起来看看目前全世界硕果仅存的大约1200辆车，这些车主都是哪一些人？他们又怎么处理他们的爱车呢？
High-end sports car, faster than a Ferrari, faster than a Lamborghini. Nothing compared to this.
0 to 60 in 3.7 seconds. It's fun from the moment you turn on the key.
It's like being shot out of a slingshot.
Any place I'd go, they put it in front. They'd move the Ferrari out and put the Roadster in front of the restaurant.
What's that car in space? It's a Tesla Roadster.
The first time I hit the accelerator pedal, I couldn't tell if I was in the future or the past. This is the car that made the dream happen.
The technology has reinvigorated the automobile industry.
2008年的车坛大事就是它，总共只造了2500辆。这一批车子在当时被视为是造车界的转捩点，它更证明电动车可以很性感、很能跑，而且非常受到科技圈、影视娱乐名人的喜爱。
If you look at the client list of Tesla Roadsters, they were the who's who of the world.
The Google founders bought them, and the first few hundred of these were in parking lots at Microsoft and Google and Facebook.
This car used to belong to the lead council of Microsoft. That was one of the original Microsoft 11 cars. The yellow car here belonged to one of the guys who helped create the iPad. The blue one here belonged to Sam Simon, the co-founder of The Simpsons TV show. This orange one here belonged to David Vaskovich, ex-CTO of Microsoft. If you ever watched the TV show Bewitched, this car belongs to Tabitha. Her name is Erin Murphy.
The group of Tesla owners, especially the Roadster owners, it's a fraternity of sorts. We're not just here to own a car, we're here to support Tesla, support the EV movement.
They really have a passion for not just the cars themselves, but the other owners. It's kind of a big family almost.
I've been a part of the Tesla community for probably 8 years. Other Tesla owners were always open to talking, helping. It's like we're a part of a movement. The Roadster community is like
一辆车代表的是相同的财富地位，相同的独特品味。很多人会用有爱这2个字形容对于某事物的超级热忱，但是啊，对这群人来说，这2个字可能不足以形容他们对这辆车的爱，因为在当时，他们买下的不只是这辆车子本身，还有对未来科技的信仰，那种形于外的未来代言人的味道，还有的人是在特斯拉股票每股22块美元的时候买下了这辆车。
In the early days, we had this expression we call Tesla time. Whenever you went someplace, you had to add some Tesla time because there were going to be people there asking questions.
Like when you buy a car like this, you have to expect to talk to strangers in parking lots. It's just part of the experience.
We spent a lot of time educating the public about Teslas and Roadsters in particular. We were very much advocates, ambassadors, even evangelists for the car.
但是后来呢，事情出了一些变化。某种程度上，特斯拉当年没有处理好跑车车主跟他们的爱车 ，Roadster 跟车主们的尊荣感就消失了。最后呢，就是被放生了。至于原因呢，就是后来行销全球的 Model S。
Tesla sort of slowly lost the memory of these cars.
Tesla didn't keep their word when it came to the quality of service. The Roadster owners were abandoned. A lot of them sold their cars because they just couldn't get service.
I don't know a single Roadster owner who takes their Roadster to Tesla, the company that made the damn car.
接下来一连串与 Roadster 有关的负面新闻，尤其是工厂失火，让车主们难过极了。但同时，车主们意识到另外一件事，就是再这样下去，这辆车快要濒临绝种了，估计全球可能只剩下1500辆。这个时候，事情出现了变化，有人能够拯救这批硕果仅存的老古董。
When Carl first left Tesla and opened up his own shop, it was big news. Most of the Tesla Roadster owners would continue a service or two with Tesla, and then it all started just moving over to Carl's shop.
People just started sending us their cars from all over.
All over the United States, Canada, we've got cars that are being put on containers coming over here from Europe and China.
He knows more about these cars than anyone else out there.
Early on at Tesla, we got to work directly with the engineers who developed some of these systems. And so we got a knowledge that others didn't get.
I actually helped write the shop manual for this car, and the reality is there are no diagnostics. Everything I do here is in my head. This is my nemesis right here. This car has a very abnormal problem where you can disconnect everything in the system and the water pump still runs. So it's got a wire shorted to power, and I just haven't found it yet. I buy stuff every day from people who have bought these cars and have a little something on their shelf. I could buy a parts car, and I did, for $5 grand 3 years ago. I could buy a parts car for $10,000. I bought one for $15,000, and those were cars that were complete. Now I'm buying cars that are missing from the windshield forward for 40 grand. This car right here has been 767, was originally sold here in Seattle. I bought it at the auction for $43,000 for a parts car, which sounds crazy, but the battery's worth $25,000, the PEM's worth $10,000, all the suspension. This is a $4,000 trunk, $1,000 bumper, $2,000 trunk box.
除了自己动手做的逆向工程，卡尔也会收购零件车。他拆下有用的东西，成为修补用的零件。因为来自原厂物料只会越来越少。以卡尔的角色在台湾修车圈的行话，就是工程师副厂。但是卡尔有多厉害呢？影响所及，甚至还会接到来自原厂工程师的求助电话。
We've had a few Tesla service centers call us up that have never seen one of these things before. And one of them actually said, look, we don't know anything about the Roadster, so we're just going to send it to you. This is the brains of the Tesla Roadster. It's the PEM, Power Electronics Module. It handles all of the drive functions. These parts are incredibly hard to find, and they're not easy to replicate. To make this board specifically, to reverse engineer is about 60 grand. This is the inside of a sheet. Each one of these plates denotes a series, so you got a positive and negative. There's little bond wires here, and it's what actually is what the voltage goes through.
There's 6,831 cells in one of these batteries. Any one of them can short and cause a problem. You have to know how to find it. You would think that this toolbox would be full of tools. It is not. It's full of electronics. This is old tech when it comes to electric cars, but it's still high tech for auto repair. Eventually this will be standard, but there's going to be a lot fewer because electric cars break a lot less.
The good news is nobody died and my car's worth more. The top's good, if I ever need a new top. So this one's totaled.
I haven't told the owner yet, but there's a dent in the frame right there, and with that dent, they're going to make me total it.
Yeah, they will.
This car just left here 4 months ago.
It's a rough 4 months. Wow, that's frightening. But it's also encouraging that, you know, a wreck this bad is survivable if you're in a good car.
只要保养得宜，再过几年，也就是当车主手上的 Roadster 年份满20岁的时候，就足以跨入经典老车的门槛。这个时候，这车只要还能顺顺的开上路，它就不是等闲之辈，而且还会身价暴涨，车主的财富地位也会显而易见于众人眼前。
The difficulty of buying a Roadster was overwhelming. For 2020 and most of 2021, the transactions were a listing that either got sold within an hour of being listed or a day.
So the values now have gone from $40,000 2 years ago to $150,000, $130,000, depending on the car that you have. Recently, one is sold for $182,000. Another one sold for $190,000.
We started seeing that median price jump from $68,000 to I think about $112,000, $114,000, but with some really amazing examples of auction prices in the $200,000, $250,000 range, and that tells you when a car has really arrived. People do look at them as investments, and the best part about it is they're fun. It's you can't take your stock portfolio out for a drive, you can't take your Bitcoin out for a drive, but you can take the Tesla Roadster out for a drive.
I looked in my rearview mirror and the person behind me has got their phone up taking a picture of my car. This car is special, and it still looks special.
People who come up and say, well, that's a weird looking sports car, what is that? And they say it's a Tesla, and they say, I've seen Teslas, they don't look like that. Is it their new sports car? It's like, no, it was the first Tesla. You get all kinds of reactions from people.
届时这些老车就会更加的值钱，可能从4万美元的身价涨至13到15万美元。当然，价格得视车况而定。它最终将会成为收藏车，因为特斯拉是第一家电动车专门公司，而 Roadster 是第一辆真正的电动汽车。这部车本身，它就是电动车历史活生生的纪念品。